everybody, thank you for tuning in to another cup of tech. Drinking a glass of Coke right now. Cup of Coke. Jeez, it's a long day. It's just too hot. It's just too hot to be hitting coffee. I just can't take it. While I like the caffeine hit, I'm going for the cold version. So let's get some news done. First of all, I'm back, obviously in Australia, you can tell, screen's back. And it's kind of good to be back, it's good to be home, you kind of miss it after a while. And New York was amazing, thanks a lot to BlackBerry for sending me there. I have the Z10, been still using it, really enjoying it actually. You know, pros and cons, but I'll talk about those in the review probably next week. I'll get something out for that. I saw a lot of guys like putting reviews out like the first day, and you're thinking, how? How do you really know what it's like after one day? Anyway, I won't go on with that. So, some big news. First of all, I had a giveaway going. I didn't announce it last week because I didn't really do a show. So, Ron and Kennedy. I know it sounds like somebody's name. Ron Kennedy sounds like somebody. Anyway, two different people. Ron, your answer was Backdoor Zombie, and that just made me laugh. That kind of gave me a giggle. I have a weird mind. And Kennedy, Red Bulldozer. And that was kind of cool, but Kennedy went a little bit extra effort, and he gave an explanation as to why I would call it Red Bulldozer, and I kind of appreciate that as well. So both you guys, Norton 360 multi-device will come your way. I'll be in touch with both of you through YouTube. I'll like message you on there and give you my email address or something like that, and we'll figure it out. And we'll be in touch. You're going to get a copy. Congrats. Starting the news again this week with Apple. Not again, but I am this time. Apple announced the 25 billionth download. Did I say that correct? 25 billion downloads. So iTunes Music. So 25 billion songs have been downloaded through iTunes now. Like that, they hit that milestone. And that's a heck of a lot. I mean, they're saying that today, like nowadays, 15,000 songs per minute is being downloaded. 15,000 songs per minute. That's a heck of a lot. I was kind of in my head going, wow, at about, let's say $2 a song, Apple takes 30% of that. That's 60 cents per song. And you kind of times that, even if it was 10,000 per minute. You know, 10,000 is about 600 bucks per minute. And you can just kind of sit there in your head going, oh my God. So let's say 1 million songs at 30% of that. You know, do the maths. You guys know what you're doing. But that's a lot of money. And it's interesting because ARIA, which is the Australian Records Industry Association, I think, came out this week as well and said that for the first time in like 3 years, music sales have actually gone up. Normally, like since 2009, it's been going lower and lower. And the big surprise by them, but it actually makes sense. They're sort of attributing it not to iTunes. They're kind of saying it's because of the advent of subscription services like Rdio, you know, Spotify and so on, where you sort of pay a fee and you have all-you-can-eat music instead of buying a song one at a time. And that's really interesting, and obviously the money is getting into the hands of the artists because it's being noticed by ARIA as well. So really cool to see. I can tell you for myself, I've been downloading music illegally a heck of a lot less than I ever used to. Music services are doing it for me. One of my favorites is actually JB Hi-Fi now. It's a brilliant service. I did a small review on it once. It's just really cool, and it's good Australian songs as well. A lot of playlists in there which relate to us. Anyway, each their own, but let me know, have you sort of changed your music habits in the last 3 years, and are you somewhat responsible for the new changes which are going on? The Microsoft Surface Pro is starting to be released, and reviews are starting to come out about them as well. And reviews are kind of damning. They're kind of really harsh, you know, claiming things like 4 hours battery life. The fact that the Surface can't really stand on a lap. It's not really suited for a lap. Even with the touch cover, it's not really something that you can rest on your knees very well like a proper laptop. And it's kind of interesting, and to me it started to raise questions about where the Surface Pro, or even the Surface, fits into the ecosystem that we have. So I don't really see it as a pure tablet because it runs, you know, it's a full version of Windows. And it's quite thick for a tablet. It's like 13 mil. It's heavy. It's got an Intel processor, so it's not going to be just like your iPads and your Android tablets. And it's way expensive. So when you take all those things into consideration, and the fact that you can't, you know, so you take all those things into consideration, the price, and you're sort of thinking, wow, I could just buy a laptop for that price with better battery life, like say for example the MacBook Air. And if you start looking at it from the tablet perspective, we're like, well, I'm paying too much for this tablet and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. you know, it kind of, I think they're in a bit of an awkward position. What I think they should have done was release it like what Asus have done, what Acer have done with some of their tablets, with the proper docks. A dock which has a built-in battery which actually recharges the tablet, the dock which has separate USB ports of its own, SD card readers built in. The docks which the other brands have created are so much smarter. And I think that while Microsoft won't succeed too much with their Windows tablet, I think that other brands like Samsung who will use it, I think Acer and Asus are both bringing out their own Windows 8 tablets. I think they'll do better jobs of it because I think they get the customer a lot more than what Microsoft does, because the others have been in the industry doing with Android and stuff like that for so much longer. So I don't know if the Surface Pro is going to make it. You tell me. I'm not going to line up to buy one, that's for sure. For sure. One interesting thing I read this week from the Twitter CEO. He released this product called Vine, which I kind of term like the Instagram of video. So it's 6-second video clips which you can share really quickly. You know, it's kind of like, hey, look what I'm looking at, but not in a picture. It's kind of neat. I do like it. And I have been using it, I enjoy it, and they're claiming it to be the next big thing. And I can see why, but we'll see. But it's interesting because as soon as something with video comes out, with content, you can just imagine what's coming, and suddenly you start seeing news articles about porn. Porn appearing on Vine, which is causing a bit of concern amongst people. But here's the kicker. When I open Vine on my iPhone, I can scroll through with the people I'm following, I see no porn. And the times when I would see it is if I went actively looking for it. Now guess what? If I Google something inappropriate, I may find something inappropriate. If I go on Vine and look for something inappropriate, same thing applies. Same thing with Twitter, same thing with Facebook. If you look for something bad, you'll find it. If I go outside and look for something bad, I'm likely to find it. And I think that's one of the things that, you know, just typical media is beating up everybody about this sort of stuff. Oh my God, you know, Vine has porn. Yeah, the internet is full of it. I think it's like 60 to 70% of the whole internet is porn. So, yeah, surprise, surprise, it exists on an app. And anyway, there is a bit of uproar about it. If your kids are using the app, yet they don't follow anybody on Vine, and they don't really know what to do with it, and they seem to be doing odd things lately, I don't know how you even monitor this. I don't know, I'm not a parent, but pay attention to the amount of tissues being used if they don't have a cold. You just don't know anymore these days, I guess. Something really interesting that I also saw today on the Google blog, wasn't today, it was like a couple of days ago, was the Street View mapping for snowfields, and not just Street View mapping, but actual proper navigational maps for snowfields in the US and Canada. And you can look on Google Maps and you can see all the different paths that they've got for skiing and snowboarding and stuff like that. And it's incredible. You can just sort of see the amount of effort that they have gone through to do this and put it together for people during the snow season. It looks awesome. And you can do Street View all the way down the hill, all the way back up, all through the ski lifts. It's insane the amount of detail that Google's gone through for this. And it looks awesome. It made me really want to go to the US and actually experience their snow. In Australia we have snow as well, by the way. It's not just deserts and kangaroos. And you know, I'm waiting for them to do Australia. That'd be kind of cool to see like Thredbo and stuff like that on there. But another huge step, they practically jumped on snowmobiles, drove around with the big camera and recorded everything. It's just awesome, and it's really high detail. You've got to check it out, even if you're not planning on going there. It just looks beautiful. So yeah, Google Maps taking it another step again. They've gone underwater, they've gone like into buildings, they've gone now on snowfields. I don't know what's next, probably inside. I don't know. Guys, that's it from me. Super short show. Super short show. Just a Coke. Really hot. Again, BlackBerry Z10 review coming next week. If you have anything you really want me to cover in this, gotta let me know, because I've done a lot of research on my own. But yeah, if there's something you really need to see, do let me know. And to Ron and Kennedy, I'll be in touch. If you don't hear from me before you see this video or whatever it is, hit me up. You know exactly where to find me on Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. And I look forward to speaking to you all again next week in another Cup of Tech. Bye.